You've reached Hall in Mockery.
Well, go ahead. The show's on.
I want to issue a PSA for everyone. That's a probably should anyway.
Yeah.
If I'm ever in a movie and it goes to the Festival
Of Lights.
yes, and everyone likes the movie, do not stand up and clap for 15 minutes for me. I can only be happy for so long.
Yes, I can only act like I know that you like me for so long.
I can only button and unbutton my jacket so many times.
I can. After the 10-minute mark, I think that you're making fun of me.
Yeah, because why is this so? Because what am I supposed to, like? I get it, you like it, and it's just like, wow, you really liked it. But any of these movies that have ever been clapped for like 15 minutes, they go everywhere else.
And they're not that.
And
they're
it's like,
fine.
okay,
It's
that's fine.
a good movie. Okay, sure.
Yeah, I was the whale. I played a whale.
And for those of you who don't know what we're talking about, at the festival where the movies should get shown,
Festival of Lights.
if you have a good movie and it premieres at the festival of
Lights. Sorry, I was.
you will get a standing ovation.
Yeah.
And every movie, so here's the deal. And this is also kind of funny.
And not just any standing ovation. A standing ovation filled with jellyfish jelly.
Hey man, you've got to have this ovation. It's no ordinary ovation.
God, oh, stop.
So here's what's interesting. Every movie that premieres there does get a standing ovation. But if it's bad, it's only for a little bit.
And how embarrassing.
You have to get your stopwatch off and say, damn, we basically got a 4-minute ovation. This sucks.
I did see
I'm
that.
worrying, darling. I'm worrying.
They only gave us an 8-minute standing ovation.
I'm worried, darling.
Did you see the movie where the man is a whale?
It got 14
They're
minutes.
still standing for him now.
Please stop.
I feel like it started.
Stop treating Brendan Fraser like he's dying.
Landon doesn't like the Brendanaissance because
I like him just fine.
I don't like
when
that everyone
you
has to
people
pretend like they like him.
I don't like when you people create something out of an internet meme. The Mummy was actually the best movie ever made. Okay, fine. Suddenly that's rewritten history. Everyone grew up on The Mummy. Everyone loves that movie.
I actually
Fine.
like The Mummy.
Great. I don't care.
You know what I did?
Name one other Brendan Fraser movie. No, go ahead. I'll sit here and I'll wait for you to name one other one. And if you say Monkey Bone, I'm gonna shove this right up your keister.
George Love Ursula.
So the issue is though now he
believes it.
well, if you're him, you have to think
I would think people are making fun of me.
because it started good intention. The little interview was like, "Do you know that everyone loves you?" And he's like,
That's not even what she said. I just want to set the record straight. Okay? She said, "Oh, the internet's behind you, like because you're in a new movie."
Yeah.
She didn't say everyone has been waiting for you to come back, like they made it sound like. Everyone's been waiting for you. We've all been waiting on bated breath. Don't you know how many hundreds of millions of people have waited? And he's like, "Oh, golly, GF." She just said, "Oh, and you're gonna be in the new you're Marlon Brando now." And he said, yeah. And she goes, "Well, the internet's excited for that." And then he said,
tipped his cowboy hat to her like a good gentleman.
"He's just from the South.
He's just a guy,
He's just a man from the South,
and he's a good actor.
and he's from the South."
I'll go to The Whale and I'll watch it and I'll say Darren Aronofsky did it again. Made a long movie that I don't fully understand, but I know his art.
Yes, I know his art. That was his last movie.
hey, Russell Crowe, can you be a gigantic guy? And you will be Noah's Ark. Russell Crowe's like, okay, you made me get huge. Now you made Brendan Fraser get huge.
Speaking of things getting huge.
And Darren Aronofsky's like, I did not make you get huge. You were just like that.
And then he looks straight in the camera and he goes, cod piece. And we're like, ha. Things getting huge. Let's see. People clapping longer and longer. I think
It's huge.
It was something that started organically. And they said, hey, have you noticed that
Yes.
they got like a 4-minute standing ovation?
Yeah.
Now they have to do it.
Now
and
it's
now
just-
that's the
yeah.
news. Like, who got the longest?
Which what else has been like that? Where it's like the baseline is you get an award. Basically everything in this day and age.
Well, it's
the participation trophy abomination.
if
Nation.
Ender's Game was written now, all those kids would have gotten a blue ribbon. You shot down nobody. You didn't get anybody. By the way, guess what? You're not playing a game. You're not playing a game. Those are real people. You're shooting real bullets at real guns. At real guns. Hey, leave that kid alone. I'm not falling down for you idiots ever again. Can anyone keep up with us?
Can you guys keep up with
Landon and I haven't talked before this.
We're getting
We
through
know-
all of our. You know how some single cell organisms vibrate on the same wavelength?
Oh, that's vibes. Camp vibes only for me.
That's basically Joey and I. We share one iota. And no, that's not the guy that died that was in Goodfellas and stuff.
The guy that was in Hubie Halloween is not one iota.
So you guys are completely lost, and that's fine. I don't even care anymore because we ask you to call, and our number has
Thank
been
you.
our number has been so active that it's almost like no one's calling. That's the issue because it creates kind of a what do you call it when you have too much of something going through a small hole? Don't say Friday night.
I was going to say like a Danimals Crush Cup.
Yes.
Where you're trying to, you have a spoon, but then one of the twins is telling you that you're supposed to slurp.
Yeah, so it is Friday night.
So
So at the Special Film Festival, you have the standing ovations. That just, yes, I agree. Probably one movie was actually good in like 1902.
Yeah.
They're like, I can't believe that train didn't come through the screen.
Right.
And everyone laughs because we all know that reference.
What if the train coming through the screen, but it's got the music at the end from, I don't know, there's all these trends going on, and I'm just trying to keep up with them. I'm so old. 319 DUBMIIT. The problem is you need to space it out. We've got a bottleneck problem.
Bottleneck.
So you all call us. You go, oh, they're doing the show this week, and it's about 6 o'clock. You're off work. Maybe you're cracking up in a six pack.
Yeah.
You're cracking up in a 6-pack.
You open all of them.
You just open all of them, just
then
to
you-
watch them die.
Yes. So, dude, give us a call. Let's see. And then the other thing we were touching on, because I think we should catch everyone up to what we're talking about, because it is important.
yeah. Very good.
Harry's son, Ford, came out on stage to introduce some footage.
First, he said, "Did you see my dad spit on that guy?"
Yes. And that was at the other festival.
Yeah.
Of...
Lights.
So he came out on the Dork 23 stage, Disney's special conglomeration of big dinguses.
Oh, hey, nerds!
He comes out on Dork 23 stage,
Who's got a chub for nerd stuff?
and he's literally crying the entire time.
Yeah.
And you know that it's special to him because he hates everything. Everything he's done, everything everyone else has done. He hates it all.
Yeah.
But the one thing he's always loved,
He loved this podcast.
is he really would. They're just like me.
These guys get it. Oh my gosh, do you hear that?
Yeah.
It's like cracker jacking.
I think it's probably your. That's fine. We'll cut it out in post.
Yeah. Okay. What you're hearing is nothing.
So he comes out on stage,
Someone
and he says the one thing he's always loved is Indiana Jones.
Yeah.
Isn't that sweet?
Mm-hmm.
And you kind of see this old man on his deathbed talking about, this may be the last time I play. And the crowd starts cheering. And he says, wait, no, I forgot to take my medicine. I meant this is the last time I'm playing Indiana Jones. I will not fall down for you stupid mother beepers any more times in my life.
Harrison, this is a kids conference.
And
Dork 23.
It's Dork 23 for little dorkies. And what else did they announce there?
From the side of the stage, they announced Indy! And then out here he comes. Short Round rolls down the aisle and he gives Harrison a big hug.
And the internet weeps.
And we say, okay, so Harrison looks the same.
And little boy is now as old as Harrison Ford, which is normal. That's what's interesting.
Yeah.
Harrison Ford is like 97 or something, and he looks pretty much the same that he did 20 years ago when they made that fourth one. How is that possible?
I haven't even broken into the 3 zeros, and I'm done falling down for you people. He's still out there swinging from a rope. He's still out there swinging from a rope. And he's like, remember how he had a son in the last movie? He's lying to everyone now.
Or he's telling the truth and I don't know. We simply can't get into that. But I will say this.
What?
I'm excited for the Indy movie.
Yeah, I'm excited for the Inside Out movie too.
I'm excited. They announced a movie that is called Wish, which is the prequel series or the prequel movie about the star that Jiminy Christmas wishes upon in that song where he says, when you wish upon a star.
Mm-hmm. So it's about the star?
It's about the star.
Not
everything has to be about something that already exists.
Right.
Is my point.
Well, then what's this movie that they announced, Elemental? I thought that was the Inside Out 2 poster.
No, I know.
I think it's the same movie.
Probably. But Inside Out is about, of course, being... Never mind. Never mind. Some things you just can't get yourself to say out loud. You know?
The woman whom which I share a house with recently caught me looking at...
Okay, let's just end it there. Come on.
Good night. Hey, look I'm going to do the... what was that clip I saw where someone dropped a microphone and everyone loved it? I saw a clip of something and there was a famous person.
Was it Barry Obama? At the
It
White House
wasn't the
Correspondence'
That's a very
dinner?
funny one too. But it was another clip like this. It was a new one where a famous person said something akin to a joke.
Yeah, not quite.
And then they were like, and then they just kind of pretended to drop their microphone.
Oh, I've seen this too. They didn't actually drop it.
No, because they know the consequences of dropping a mic.
Yes.
They might be whoever they are. Name a famous.
William S. Burroughs.
Yeah, so they're William S. Burroughs. That doesn't mean the front of the house guy gives a shit.
No. He will come up to you.
You dropped the mic!
He will yell at you in front of...
You gonna break it or you gonna buy it?
You know how much money that was?
Sorry, I'm William S. Burroughs.
I didn't realize you bought all the equipment here. And by the way, it was an accident. And by the way, I'm just an 18-year-old boy. I don't know much better. And by the way, I'm opening for one of my favorite bands on earth.
This is getting too personal.
Oh.
A William S. Burroughs. By the way, a Shure SM58 is $100. Buy a new one.
By the way, I'm pretty sure this whole place is going out of business pretty soon. So why don't you just sit down, shut up, and stop being so angry? It's a Christmas show.
Now, the Indiana Jones 5 trailer. It's Harrison Ford. By the way, did they show the trailer? Not to us.
Not to us. They showed it at...
Just because I don't go to the thing?
Yes. They'll show it in a couple months.
That's the thing. Woman I live with caught me looking at. I had about 7 to 8 tabs open, and I was planning a trip to Orlando. And she asked me, she said, "Are you turning into a Disney adult?" And I said, "I'm not turning into a Disney adult. I'm an adult that wants to go to Disneyland."
Right.
These are different, and Disney World, excuse me. These are different things. Just because I'm trying to figure out on the map where Toy Story Land is, it's close to Galaxy's Edge.
Right.
So that's a day.
You think I haven't looked?
Yeah. That's what I mean. People do, you got to do this, and then you go, okay, well, there's probably 4 different resorts you could stay at.
Mm-hmm.
No. There's like 15. Do I want to stay in the animal kingdom where there's a giraffe in my window? Do I want to stay in the one that's just in the woods?
Right.
Do I want to stay in the one that somehow they built mountains around? Do I want to stay? There's like,
do you want to stay at the Star Wars Hyperion, whatever the hell?
Very expensive.
Yeah, I got $10,000 to spend 2 nights at this resort where I can't even look outside.
I can't look outside, and also they give you about 90 minutes in the park.
You can't do much of anything. But
Get your blue milk. Get out.
yeah, so
This is not the blue milk that I'm looking for, baby.
well, we were just talking about this the other day because, of course, I did get to go to Disney when I was a young boy. Did you?
Yep.
And what?
Too young.
Too young. Don't remember much of any of it except that I don't like rides.
Yeah.
So I didn't probably wasn't the best sport about being there. And then, you talk to your parents as you grow up and they're like, yeah, I mean, it's cool. It's cool to see. But of course, every comedian on earth has also said, happiest place on earth? Yeah, not so much.
Whoa.
And
I just want to see it.
well, that's the thing. Now that we're old enough and they know that no child has the disposable income to actually go there and enjoy it for what it's worth, they know schlubs like us are going to go to Galaxy's Edge and spend $200 on a lightsaber.
Yeah.
So you can hold it up with everyone and turn it on at the exact same time and hear a little hologram of Yoda tell you that you are now a Jedi. I want that experience.
How much is that worth to you, they say? They're laughing when they say it.
They're laughing. They can't.
And
They're
you say-
laughing through their Darth freaking.
They're Darth shades. They got these expensive glasses.
Yeah. So what'd you decide? Are you going?
Yeah, it's very expensive. It's more expensive than I thought. I said, well, okay, so think about this. We split $5,000 because you have to go now. You also have to go to Universal, which I did last time too. And what happened to me when I went to Universal as a kid was they had the Fast and the Furious cars. And then at some point, the Blues Brothers sped down the street, got out of their car and sang to us. And I probably thought it was the real Blues Brothers, Jim Belushi and Dan Aykroyd.
Yeah.
And then they get back in their car and they speed away. And
Pretty cool.
yeah, and you go, God, I'd love to see that again.
Well, for someone like you that loves the mediocre comedies of the 80s.
I'm mainly Blues Brothers 2000, which I think it's got to be close to 2000, right? Probably not.
I did watch this within the last 3 years.
He's thinking about it. I'm not going to fall down for you ever again.
And I can't remember when it was made, but yeah, it was got to be close. It was probably like 98 or something.
That's awesome. Was it good?
No.
Is the first one?
I've never seen the first one.
I'll tell you this. No!
All I know is Buddy Heck is freaking in jail or something.
Watch your
then,
mouth.
And then his brother Jimmy Heck is out of jail. The brothers.
Well, the thing is, they drive a car into the mall. I'm sure someone's listening to this and it's like, you guys don't get it.
You don't get it. It's 2 idiots playing blues. What's there to get?
It's a different time in Chicago in the 80s, and everyone's doing this stuff called...
They're like, hey, John, you want to make a movie where we get to be rock stars? And he's like, sure. That's all it is. It's like what do they always say? Comedians wish they could be rock stars, and rock stars wish they could be comedians.
Oh.
So what do you always see? Comedians are like, okay, what if I'm in a movie where I get to be a rock star?
Yeah.
And they're like, yeah, okay, sure. But how do we get it? How do we make that happen? And you're like, okay, we're two guys that were Jehovah's Witnesses, and
It's always happens.
It's like, we can't keep making the same movie over and over again.
And then there's like, because of the opposites, then you've got like, boss, what do you want to do? And he's like, I want to do a movie. And they're like, Bruce. And he's like, well, I play a stand-up comedian. And so it's like, okay, but how do we do that?
Right.
So it's like, okay, so you're Bruce Springsteen, but in this movie, your name is Tommy Twiddledick. And you grew up Mormon, but you witnessed a murder. So you get out of that life and you find out that your way of solace is doing stand-up in nightclubs. So you become a famous stand-up comedian who's haunted inside. It's this tale as old as time itself.
And we keep telling it over and over again. There's no original stories anymore, is there?
No, the Blues Brothers movie and then this other movie, which is real.
It's a very real movie. Oh, God. What else?
Did you watch anything?
Should we get to that?
I guess.
Okay.
We have a guest coming up.
Okay, yeah. So
we want to maybe get him, not to give anything away, but we want to give him his time to shine. And if you're a fan of 60s psychedelic rock,
wow,
you're going to want to stick around. You can hit the skip forward 30 seconds if you don't like that Landon's about to talk about Before Sunset or whatever.
I love Jim Crochet.
I love Jim Varney. Know what I mean, Vern?
Jim Varney could bend me over right now if he wanted to.
No, he couldn't.
That's the internet for you.
Yeah,
though. You see that?
true.
You see photos of that?
Yeah,
it's
I'm
like
scared freaking horny.
What did I watch? Yes. Okay. So as you know, last week when we were talking about Lord of the Rings, we were talking about The Hobbit, and we were talking about how the fact I had been about an hour and a half into the first The Hobbit movie, and now I can safely say that I've watched all three of the Hobbit movies. And here's what I gotta say. I know everyone's mad at them or something. These are fun little movies. And when I say little, I mean they're 12 hours of content.
Right.
I watched all of them suckers. And, do I care? No. Is there an abundance of CGI to the point where nothing matters? Of course. Are all of the characters confusing to me because they all look the same, act the same, have the same type of name? Thorin Dokeshield, and over here is Balin of Graben, and there over there is Baelor of Mabor.
Baelor of Mabor has been shot, my master.
No!
With a Glock 47.
No! I will rain hell down upon the Azoth of the acreage, and he will know my furious blade.
An evening star.
It's also funny because it's basically the Lord of the Rings.
Yeah.
Like, the thing that they're trying to get corrupts the guy, makes him mad. And
Well,
it's like,
maybe you're finding your cracks in the J.R.R. Tolkien brain.
yeah, I
And
bend
then
him
I
over,
write a story about how there's a little ring.
and I'm like, bend over, and he's like, okay, and I'm like, yep, there's the crack.
Yeah, well, there's one ring to rule them all.
But what's interesting is I did find myself enjoying it for the most part. There was one. Here's where and I know we've all talked about these movies already. I'm late to the party, but indulge me, won't you?
Like a fine bunt cake. Just let me indulge myself, won't you?
Here's how you know the CGI went too far. There are dwarves, and this
So
is
far,
not
so good.
These are played by men, real men. The main dwarf, Thorin Oakenshield, and his band of merry fellows that are introduced to us in the first movie for about 30 minutes. Each of them shows up to little bag boy's house. And we watch them eat all of his food, and they're playing around, they're dinking around in his house, and you're like, get on with it! And then by the end, you're like, where are all these guys? None of them are talking anymore. No one's saying anything. Anyway, that's beside the point.
They do the dishes. They sing a song.
By the time that the 5 armies show up in the Battle of the 5 Armies, and you simply must ask yourself, where do they keep these armies? And then you turn to yourself in the mirror and you say, in their sleeveys. And then the dwarf army shows up, and they're like, it's my cousin, Dinkelberg. He's the leader of the dwarf army. He'll show up and he'll give us righteous glory and victory in this battle. He shows up on a little wild hog. Literally, it's a little pig.
Yeah.
He is a CGI man. Why do they do that? And then he has a heart-to-heart with the main guy who's the same race. They're dwarves. They're cousins.
Yeah.
Thorin and Dork meet each other on the battlefield, and he's
Right.
like, I'm glad you're here to help us, Dork. And he's like, I'm glad you're here too, Thorin. and he's
completely
CGI.
animated.
Why would you do that? What's the point of that? Why? That's the only question I have. Otherwise,
That's it.
I mean, the whole thing was obviously, everyone's talked about it. It's one book that's like 300 pages. It doesn't need to be 3 movies. Blah, blah, blah.
I didn't say that. Maybe with a little time, a little distance from when these movies came out, we can all revisit them and as the little fun summer blockbusters they are.
That's what they are. And, a lot of the time, like, they're all just, the first 2 are chase movies. They're just being chased for 3 hours. And you're like, you're almost exhausted at the end. You're like, I don't know if I can watch 3 more hours of this. And then you turn it on and you just drool falls out of your mouth as you continue watching it.
I saw Battle of the 5 Armies in 3D, and that was
my God.
too much. It was like 3.5 hours.
Yeah.
And I couldn't see when I left the theater.
It's so long, and it is just an action sequence, basically in the entire time.
I think I went and I had to find, I was like, where's the theater? Because he was doing the thing where he's like, this one's in high.
Right,
It's
48
like,
frames per second.
So it's 48 FPS with the glasses, and it's supposed to, whatever. I had to find some stupid theater that was doing that.
That has to look so weird.
With the glasses on, fine. It helped. If you take the glasses off, it looks like you're watching a soap opera.
Yeah.
It's like when your TV is like when you go to a restaurant and they haven't changed the settings on the TV.
Yeah, they
so
have
like
motion
Dumb and Dumber
smoothing
looks
on.
like it's a live
Yeah.
it's a play. It was that. So it just looked like there's Dumbledore the Gray walking down the street of like everything looked like a set.
Yeah.
I just kept taking them off every now and then just to see. Like it was like looking through the cracks of the facade of the J.R.R. Tolkien
You were
world.
looking at the screen and saying bend over, and the screen said yes, and you said there's a crack.
And I went with my mom, and she kept telling me, she was like, stop. Because I kept lifting my glasses up and yelling, bend over.
Yeah, I love that.
In the middle of the movie, bend over!
And then the guy in the front row says, stop calling my name. My name's Ben Dover Johnson.
Chompston. I use Chompston for like all my delivery stuff now.
Yeah. Well, it gets it here faster, and they don't have those fascists running the company.
No. They don't have the fascists running the country.
Company. Not the country.
Whatever, man.
Well, that too.
And what is America? But so Disney's a company, but America's not. Okay. No, I believe you.
No, sure, whatever you
No,
say.
so Disney's a company, but America's a country. Okay, that makes sense. What is that? He fixed it.
Yeah, it is that. Okay. I just wanted to make sure. I'll just silence that throughout the episode.
Our guests will be taking kind of advantage of that.
So here's the deal. Then I said, you know what? I haven't seen the Lord of the Rings proper in quite some time. I'll throw those on. A million times better, obviously. Everything looks real. Everything looks amazing. You're like, how did they pull this off? Of course, there are some dated things where it's like, this looks funny, but it's beautiful. It looks incredible. The story is obviously the right one. If you're gonna pick a story to tell, it's this one, not the Hobbit one. But I enjoyed that. That's what I'm saying. I enjoyed all the Hobbit movies actually, because for one, I don't care. I'm not a Lord of the Rings fanboy. I was just sitting down to pass the time before I fade away into the abyss of this, this empty life I lead.
Yeah, now you sound like a real Silmarillion.
What'd you watch, buddy?
Did you watch the new show yet?
No. Well, okay. Here's how this whole thing started.
Because isn't that the point?
I sat my white little ass down and listened, and I said, "You can't have elves that look like that." No. I turned it on and I said, within the first couple minutes, I was like, "I'm sure that this is a reference to something, but I have no context for what." Because it's been years since I've seen these movies. Because the lady is Galadriel.
Right.
The freaking beautiful white lady from the other ones.
Oh.
And I mean white because she's pale.
Isolate that.
I mean white because she's so pale.
Yeah.
She's the color white, not her skin.
Isolate that.
And so I was like, I'm sure that this will all mean more to me if I know what any of these people are.
Yeah, I don't think so.
Yeah, probably not. Now hearing about how everyone hates the show regardless, no, I'm still going to check it out. I'm sure it's pretty cool. It looked great. The 10 minutes that I watched was pretty cool. I'll get around to it. There's too much stuff going on. There's that She-Hulk show. That's pretty funny. It's pretty good. At this point, with Marvel, I'm just kind of like, I'm watching whatever you're going to put out, and I'm probably going to like it. I turn off the discernment. I turn off my discerning eye when I watch these things at this point.
Speaking of people in the Marvel family, hey, have you checked out The Patient? I checked out The Patient, starring Steve Carell and Dinger from Star Wars.
Who? Oh,
Dinger from Star Wars. The Harry Potter man.
Huxley man.
Yeah. So I watched this. I don't know if you've checked this out yet. I think there's about 3 or 4 episodes out. And Landon's just checking our camera. Hey, if you're not going to call us, at least watch the YouTube. That'll help us get our numbers up. And maybe if you call 319-DUBMIIT, you'll see your name pop up on the screen and we'll talk about whatever you had to talk about. But if you're not watching The Patient, I'd give it
I do want to watch
check it out. And after that, I watched whatever the 3rd or 4th episode, whatever came out. And then it just started auto-playing Under the Banner of Heaven. And I couldn't remember what it was.
Yeah.
It's like, what is this? And then I thought it was from the 90s or something. I thought it was from like the 2000s. And then I see old Garfield pop up.
Yeah.
He's like, hello there. And then I'm sucked into that John Krakauer novel.
Yeah.
So now I got to finish that. But what I want to talk about,
now,
Marvel family.
Did he bend over and show you his Krakauer?
Every hour on the crack hour.
Okay, Marvel family, go ahead.
Taika Waititi's What We Do in the Shadows.
Right.
I'm on to season 3 now.
Right.
From the last week when we did the show, where I hadn't started watching it.
Right.
And now I'm 3 seasons in.
Wow.
It maybe, I don't want to overhype this. Now, here's the problem with Taika. Stay in your lane. Because he knows what he's doing here. This might be one of the funniest shows I've ever seen.
I keep hearing that, but my disdain for everything that he does.
I like the original movie.
I like him.
I like
Yeah.
Jermaine from Fly the Conchords.
Of course.
They have funny in their bones. And they're not, they kind of pop up here and there in the show. But it's just one of the funniest. And I know people have been watching it now for 5 years. And they're like, we know.
Yeah,
Well, I'm here to tell you, guess what? The tastemakers are finally on board.
Yep.
It's funny. It's
I'll
one of
check
the
it out.
funniest. And it's just, there's some episodes that's just kind of, plot of the week sort of thing. And
Sure.
it's kind of cute, whatever. And then sometimes it's just the funniest, most subtle. God.
He can't even. That's what some things you watch that are like that, and you're like, "What am I even doing?
Right.
Why would I try?"
That's what I hate about it.
Which is why we don't.
But then sometimes there's a joke and you go, I made that joke too to my friends. And you say that to the person sitting next to you on the couch and they go, I don't care. This is on TV.
yeah, they're being paid millions of
I don't
dollars.
care that you also made a dinger joke.
Right.
They made dinger joke on making millions of dollars. And then, it's just funny,
It's the thing of
What else did I watch? God, I think
Under the Banner of Heaven. We did watch that.
Is it good?
It's a slow burn, but it's worth the watch.
I've only watched the first episode, and there are some pretty cheesy. Some parts of it I feel like are dumb, but
yes.
overall,
Actually, I don't think we ever finished it.
yeah. So that's kind of where I'm at, and I hope that people are excited for our. Oh,
What?
were you gonna say what I was gonna say? Well, I was gonna say that someone's at the door.
Oh.
What were you gonna say?
I was gonna say I did want to mention we watched that American Horror Stories.
Okay, hold on. Yeah, well, hold on.
Just 1 second.
Okay. Oh.
We watched that American Horror Stories.
Yes.
I don't know. Have you watched any of those? They did a season last year, I think, and now this year. I don't know why we would do this to ourselves.
Are they bad?
It's the worst TV ever made. It's whatever you think the worst season of American Horror Story is. I promise you, every single episode is worse. Because every episode is a story, a single story. And some of them start pretty promising. You're like, oh, this one actually might be kind of good. By the end, it's just the worst horse shit I've ever seen. It's terrible. It's terrible. And almost all of them are written by the same guy. They keep getting this one guy, Manny Cotto. Manny, if you're listening, let someone else get a pass. They're all like the first draft of a script. Every single one of them. And probably because they're like, well, we'll just get Manny to do it. Can you write 8 scripts by next Halloween so we can make them?
Is this show still on? Because it got so terrible.
I don't even know. Well, then the last season of American Horror Story proper, they did the split season. It was like 6 episodes of one story, 6 episodes of another. We watched the first 6 episodes that was like the vampire thing. It was pretty good.
Okay.
It wasn't bad. It wasn't bad. We didn't watch the last 6 of the other story.
No.
I'm assuming it was probably of the same quality. But with these people, you don't know. You don't know. It could be one of the worst things you've ever seen. And almost all of these, there are a couple that were like, I was happy that we watched of this American Horror Stories. Like, okay, that was kind of whatever. And then other things would be like, how can you be paid to do this?
Now I'm going to watch them because I spent roughly 2 hours the other night watching the Salem Slot movie. I could not tell what was going on. And yet I kept it on knowing that I was like, I'll just read the book at some point.
Sure.
This is horseshit. I spent time doing that, but I can't be bothered to watch the new Thor movie. Can't be bothered.
Take it from me, you're not missing much.
Taika.
I agree. He needs to just stay his way.
Well, he brings too much. I think he maybe got a little big head.
A little?
Right? He's like, maybe we should be doing more of this in the movie with them.
It's just you can't.
Marvel can't be. You can't make these movies just parodies unto themselves.
And that's exactly
You
what
have to
he
bring
did.
it in just enough where you've told the story long enough that you can bring in a little levity, right?
In my
It
opinion,
can't just
yes.
be the Lego version of the, because then that's just what it is.
Yeah.
You just need to, you can have a little fun here and there. I've heard She-Hulk talks to the camera.
Well,
That's all I hear.
And that's the worst part of it. Because there's no reason to. There's no framing device that sets it up. It's just she does. She knows she's in a show for no reason. I don't like stuff like that. It's the problem I have with Deadpool. It's the problem I have. Just be clever about it. If you're talking to me, this whole thing is fake. Unless you give me a framing device where you, for some reason, you're freaking smashed your head.
Yeah.
You think you're in a TV show. Something.
You're
Literally anything.
delusional.
Anything. Give me any reason that I should be on board with you talking to the camera. And it's been done so many times, even within the superhero genre, it's not cool anymore. So you shouldn't be doing it. That being said, it is funny when she does do it. Sometimes. Sometimes it's funny. Oh, yes.
Crap. Hold on. We should.
Do you want to? You can just.
Let me get the door.
All right, you get the door.
Would you want to introduce him? Here. We'll introduce him.
Okay, we'll introduce
Then
him.
I'll go. Let me go grab him quick.
Okay.
Sorry about this, everyone.
That's
He's
okay. So,
Kind
sorry,
of shy. I think he did.
Sorry, man.
He's kind of like got a little.
Okay. Okay, you may have heard one of his songs, and it comes around every time this year. And Joey, will you go get him a little bit farther that way? This man wrote one of the scariest, spookiest songs known to man, and every year the song comes up around this time of year and we listen to it on repeat, don't we, everyone? Well, even last week we did talk about him on the show, and now we have him here in studio. Ladies and gentlemen,
It's me, Donovan.
say hello to Donovan.
Hey everybody, how's it going out there? Are you playing my song?
We
Sorry,
have to.
I'm a little hard of hearing because of all the Woodstock stuff or whatever.
Of course.
So I just wanted to come on the show.
Sure,
because,
yeah. Tell us, why are you here?
Well, I saw the stuff about you had your phone number posted. And I thought, well, these blokes is very nice. I heard you talking about
Yes.
my song last week. 'Cause
Absolutely.
Someone brings it up because people don't talk about Donovan much these
No.
days, even though I've got new music out.
Oh, Don. Can I call you Don?
It's on the Beatles. What?
Can I call you Oven?
My last name's Oven.
Do you know that man called Ove that I see the book of at the bookstore all the time?
Yeah. Do I know him? Yeah.
Any relation?
Yeah. He plays my drums.
Donovan, so what? You have some new music you want to promote?
Well, the thing was, you guys was talking about my song, Season of the Witch. And then one of you, I think Joey,
Yes.
made a very funny observation that because, well, basically what happened was you brought up that I did a sequel to the song.
Yeah, Season of the Witch
2.
Part 2.
Which is that I updated all the stuff because I've been
Yeah.
doing this song for nigh on 60 years, innit?
Yeah, about there, yeah.
So I did it, back then when I was tripping out. You know how it is.
Yeah, and what? Because can I just ask you?
Well, I'm a psychedelic freak, baby.
Well, that brings me to my question: what is the Season of the Witch? Because around this time we always play the song around
Right.
Halloween. We play it on repeat, don't we, everyone? And I just want to know, I guess, kind of back. Can you transport us back to then when you were thinking of the song "Season of the Witch"? What were you talking about?
Well, the thing with Season of the Witch is that, you kind of, it gets dark outside. and it's kind of scary. Here's the secret about this song.
Yeah.
It's about that time. You know when it's kind of dark outside?
Yeah.
But I thought that you guys were right because you said, well, if you really updated it for modern times.
Yeah, you can't just remake the song and make it a little bit longer with new production.
Yeah, so you
Which
said,
is what you did, right, Donovan?
I don't remember. So what you said, though, was correct. And I will give you that you said
Thank
if
you.
you really updated it, it would have been Season of the Twitch.
Right. And check out last week's episode if you want to. And we have some funny TikToks. Follow us on TikTok if you want to see little clips of those segments, because that was some really good ad-libbing that my friend Joey and I did.
Yes, call us we're on TikTok at not good not bad _pros.
Joey.
Joey's speaking through me
My
right
God.
now.
What happened to Joey? Wait.
Help! I'm stuck in Donovan.
Hey, get back in there. I'm not done promoting my new single.
All right.
So you guys said, basically, yeah.
Season of the Twitch.
So, and I said, well, that's not very PC. We probably shouldn't say people have Twitches and all that. So I looked it up and I saw that there's this whole world of video games that people are streaming.
Yes.
And they're twitching. Sorry, my hair got in my eyes. Feels like plastic poking me. But I thought, well, maybe I should update the song. And I know that you guys are singers. I know that I know that you love music. Landon, you in particular, I know that you love singing songs. I've heard some of your songs.
Yes.
I have clips of some of your songs.
How? What
I
are
have
you
one of
talking
your
about?
songs that you wrote.
I wish porn was good for your brain.
How did you get that?
Well, it's all on the internet, isn't it? It's Landon Sheet's song, isn't it?
That was a long
I'm
time
sure
ago.
the people have heard the song before.
That was a long time ago. I didn't.
Here, let me see. It says 2021.
I wish porn was good for your brain.
That was not okay. A long time ago. Like, you have to remember the pandemic.
Right.
Felt like years.
Yeah.
So 2021. That was a long time ago.
Well, what was the one that you wrote in 2022 that was a little more grown up, I should say? Let's see here.
Yeah.
I wish guys could come more than once.
Well, about that actually was a cover. That was a cover.
Oh, right. And then it says, okay, so here's the A side, which was the real song.
I wish guys could come more than once.
I don't know. It sounds like a cover of your own song, mate.
Well, I don't know. It's because of the. It's more about getting trending it on the internet. So you do little small songs,
Right.
that are provoking of thought.
Did you do this one?
Liberty bibbity.
Yeah, actually.
Well,
And
I don't want to talk about you. The reason I'm here is because I took your advice.
Good. You
And
should.
I wanted to play my new song for you, which is an update. It's not part 3, okay? It's a brand new song that I wrote
Okay.
based on your suggestion of updating my discography.
Okay.
Okay, would you like to hear it?
Do we get royalties or anything?
What's that? Like Dairy Queen?
Play it. Are you gonna sing it for us?
Yeah, it's live.
Oh, great.
It's my backing band with the guy.
When I log on to Windows, many websites to see,
Wow.
but they all turn out to be so dull. So instead I start to stream, host a page, debug every glitch. You've got to debug every glitch. You've got to debug every glitch.
A little redundant.
Oh, must be the season of the Twitch. Must be the season of the Twitch. Yeah. Must be the season of the Then I save clips to a folder to post on my social feeds. Now I'm dealing with shareholders who want to make money off of me. Now I get paid to sit and play games. You've got to debug every glitch.
Okay, back to this.
I've got to win so I get rich.
Okay, all right.
My brain is numb and my acid. Woo! Oh no! Must be the season of the Twitch. Must be the season of the Twitch. Yeah. Must be the season of the Twitch. Ba-da-dum, 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 ba-dum, 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 ba-boom, ba-boom, ba-dum, 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 I just did acid, and just a little bit of acid. I just did a lot of acid, a tiny little dropper full of powerful acid.
What? There's 80 voices happening. How are you doing that, Donovan?
It's Benny, Tom Waits, this whole time, Ricky, Gervais,
Wow.
and Ricky Bobby are two different Rickies that have different hobbies. One does stand-up and one races cars. One goes to school and one goes to Mars. Everybody has some fun today, but I won't have fun when I'm driving away in my NASCAR.
Which one goes to school?
Okay, you have to stop the song if you haven't already.
Which one goes to school and which one goes to bars? I know that's not the main takeaway, but it just piqued my interest right there at the end.
The lyric is one goes to Mars.
That makes even less sense. Donovan,
You're
you
missing
gotta-
the main part of this song,
I can't.
man.
Whatever. I get that. I wrote it last week.
You wrote this song?
Basically, me and Joey did.
Oh, because you said season of the Twitch?
Yes, I
So I
gave you the
come in here and
idea.
I'll put my brand new song on.
No, it
One
was
goes
great.
to school. Well, one does stand up. Wait.
It was
One
one.
goes to school.
Replay the whole song. It was one. One goes to school. One goes to Mars, or something like that.
Hold
I
on.
thought it was bars.
Let me check.
Okay.
I wish guys could come more than once.
Yeah, I don't know. Oh, I'm not feeling so good.
Donovan? No,
Ah!
wait. I had so many more questions to ask of you. Donovan. Joey? Joey. Joey?
Oh, why did I just stand up for a second?
You're like Ricky Gervais.
What happened?
Why can't I see?
You're like Ricky Gervais. You went to school.
I don't know what you're talking about. I went to answer the dar.
Oh no,
I went to answer the dar and everything went dork.
Joey.
What happened?
Donovan was here
He was?
in your body. He told you to bend over and and you showed him the crack to get in.
I just looked in, the mirror that Landon always has next to him when he's watching movies?
Uh-huh.
So he thinks he's watching movies with someone else. I just looked in it and I saw that I look.
Yeah, you look exactly like Donovan.
Well, if I'm Donovan, then how did I get this jersey that says O'Neal? That's crazy. What is this? My phone says season of the Twitch.
How'd you know that?
Well, we'll be right back on
Rick and Bubba, Rick and Bubba.
Okay, bye.
Bye.
You're listening to the Prescribed Films Podcast Network, home to hundreds of hours of free podcast entertainment. The shows on this network all have a common goal, providing you with the best discussions about movies and other forms of entertainment media. The PFPN hopes to fill your earholes with audio joy. Visit our website with links to all the other amazing shows at www.thepfpn.com. Thanks for listening.